The world is so competitive, aggressive, consumive, selfish, and during the time we spend here we must be all but that. Toyota is competitive in anything they do. The country that owns green, that dominates that industry, is going to have the most energy security, national security, economic security, competitive companies, healthy population and, most of all, global respect. I am competitive and I feel bad when we lose. You can see it in me when we've lost. I'm in a bad way. I don't like to talk to anyone. I think to be a great quarterback, you have to have a great leadership, great attention to detail, and a relentless competitive nature. And that's what I try to bring to the table, and I have a long way to go. I'm still learning, and I'm still on a constant quest for knowledge. Brothers, inherently, are competitive, and twins take it to the next level. I just want to be in the middle of the order, playing solid defense, playing every day, being competitive and earning that my manager, the coaching staff, the front office, my teammates have faith that I'm going to be a helpful teammate. I want to do that until the very end. When money, rather than innovation or value, is your competitive advantage, that's when things get boring and stagnant, and monopolies take root. Football is a great deal like life in that it teaches that work, sacrifice, perseverance, competitive drive, selflessness and respect for authority is the price that each and every one of us must pay to achieve any goal that is worthwhile. It's amazing how a competitive nature can turn a negative into something positive. I'm blessed to come from a family with 5 brothers. We're all physical and athletic and like to work out, like to be outside, like to throw the ball around. We spent our entire childhoods on some kind of corner or in a field. We still do a turkey bowl every Thanksgiving. It gets competitive, man. Bloody. Because education is the backbone of a competitive workforce and successful economy, making it a priority is not uncommon. I watched the Food Incorporated documentary and was like, this has opened my eyes to the meat industry, maybe I should go vegetarian. And my friend told me, Sadie, you're not gonna last a week. But I'm very competitive. Bodybuilding is about building your body. Whether you do it to maintain your fitness levels, climb Everest, run the marathon, or be a competitive bodybuilder is up to you. I think a winner has to be a master of preparation, they have to be a master of connection, extremely competitive and have really high standards for themselves and the people around them. We are not afraid to entrust the American people with unpleasant facts, foreign ideas, alien philosophies, and competitive values. For a nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood in an open market is a nation that is afraid of its people. For a competitive junkie like me, golf is a great solution because it smacks you in the face every time you think you have accomplished something. That to me has taken over a lot of the energy and competitiveness for basketball. You need emotional intelligence, to be happy to take risks, to be competitive and to look forward not backwards. I think people really underestimate the power of just wanting to do it, and hard work, and competitive spirit, and preparation. I kinda see everyone as competition. I'm a very competitive person, but I think that's good. Competition is great, and as long as it's friendly and not a malicious thing, then I think it's cool. Control your expenses better than your competition. This is where you can always find the competitive advantage. Sister is probably the most competitive relationship within the family, but once the sisters are grown, it becomes the strongest relationship. Formula One is one of the biggest and most competitive sports in the world and our desire is to get back to be giving Mercedes a hard time and winning races and championships. My mom drew a line in the sand and said they would not be putting me on Ritalin. My mom liked my competitive nature, and she stood up for me. To become a professional, you have to train a lot, which I did from a very early age. Of course, it helps if your character is very competitive and you have patience and perseverance. I am not a fan of running on treadmills because I think it prohibits you from learning how to pace yourself on your own, so I will brave the winter and run outdoors, and I'll be honest, the competitive part of me sees the cold weather as a sort of challenge. The ultimate competitive advantage is being cognitive. I play to win, whether during practice or a real game, and I will not let anything get in the way of me and my competitive enthusiasm to win. I'm a fighter. I'm very competitive. A lot of times I find that people who are blessed with the most talent don't ever develop that attitude, and the ones who aren't blessed in that way are the most competitive and have the biggest heart. I'm a competitive person and I love the challenge of mastering new things. As a former competitive athlete and a mother to a daughter who is a D1 collegiate athlete, I staunchly oppose biological males in girls/women's sports, locker rooms, and bathrooms. Design is a powerful factor in communication between disciplines and stakeholders and can transform knowledge into creative, human-oriented solutions that can promote companies' and countries' competitive ability and foster innovation and growth. Adaptability and constant innovation is key to the survival of any company operating in a competitive market. By giving every American access to quality, affordable health care, they will create a more competitive, a stronger and more secure America. I grew up in Florida, so you start swimming at the age of 1, really. By 10, I was competitive swimming, and by 12, I had aspirations to be the best in the world. Competitive golf is played mainly on a 5.5-inch course, the space between your ears. Over the years, golf has evolved from a leisurely game of stick and ball into a competitive sport for highly skilled athletes. Players not only spend countless hours fine-tuning technique on the course, but also improving strength, stability, and endurance in the gym. Each day, we're sharpening Iowa's competitive edge in education and expanding our workplace partnerships with job-ready, STEM-savvy, lifelong learners. The greatest competitive advantage in the modern economy is a positive and engaged brain. It is definitely true that the fundamental enabling technology for electric cars is lithium-ion as a cell chemistry technology. In the absence of that, I don't think it's possible to make an electric car that is competitive with a gasoline car. I was competitive ping-pong player. I played in youth tournaments, under the age of 13. There's no medals for trying. This isn't like 8th grade where everybody gets a trophy. We are in a professional sport, and it is competitive to win. That's what we do. Whereas a competitive firm must sell at the market price, a monopoly owns its market, so it can set its own prices. Since it has no competition, it produces at the quantity and price combination that maximizes its profits. In this business, there is an insane amount of pressure, spoken and unspoken, to be thin. If you look at some of the television shows, eating disorders become like a competitive thing. Monopolies are bad because people get bad service for high prices. Competition is good because people get good service for competitive prices. Being named Michael Jordan, I think growing up playing sports and having a name like Michael Jordan, and I was extremely competitive, I used to get teased a lot. But it made me want to strive for greatness and be able to compete at whatever I decided to do. The man who would forge to the front in this competitive age must be a man of prompt and determined decision. The future of Norway isn't about competing on being the cheapest but the most innovative. We have an expensive welfare state, and the only answer to continue that way is to become more competitive, especially on knowledge. I'm a very competitive girl, in everything I do. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.